And when you go through the campaign results at the end and you're like, oh my God, there's so many quotes that have been started from this piece of activity or from this video or this advert, you're like, this is incredible.
Hi, welcome to another episode of SmartCraft. I'm joined by Louise Clark, Head of External Communications at Zurich, and we're talking about marketing in the insurance and financial sector. So can you share a bit about your background and how you got into your current marketing role?
Yes, so I worked at Standard Life many moons ago, probably about 16 years ago in Bournemouth. I was looking after private medical insurance. I didn't know anything about insurance at all. It took me a long time to get genned up on that. And then I got made redundant and joined Zurich. I was there for 2.5 years. I reckon a year of that, didn't know what was going on. And then I left and went to AIG, worked on the AIG brand. They sponsored the All Blacks, went to New York, met the All Blacks and their PR team and did some stuff with Adidas and Twitter. That was really exciting. And then I got a call from Zurich and they said, will you come back and work for us again? And I was just like, yeah, absolutely. So I've been there now for 11 years. I'm running the marketing communications team, and more recently I'm also running the customer communications team as well. So it's a big team, there's 22, there's a lot going on.
What are the biggest challenges you face when marketing insurance products?
I think the team would say getting anything through our financial promotion team. So we are FCA regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Yeah.
And everything we produce needs to be clear, fair, and not misleading. So we might come up with an amazing headline or some amazing proof points, and then we'll show it to our financial promotions team and they'll be like, no, no, you can't get that through, sorry. They need the substantiation right down to the data source. So I think financial services marketing is probably one of the hardest industries to probably promote because of all the regulation that sits around it. But it also means that customers are incredibly safe and the things that they're buying are, fully compliant.
Is that a constant challenge in every campaign to go, we want to be creative? And especially when you look at different audiences, we want to be playful and we want to be seen as a little more, but ultimately there's a team of people that are protecting consumers at all times to make sure nothing's misconstrued.
Yeah, absolutely. The financial promotions team really want to help us as well. They're amazing. We've got such great relationships with them. They will help us write, come up with different sort of lines for us and things like that. So they truly do want our best interests and also, but ultimately the customers, to protect the customer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely the biggest challenge, I would say.
How has the role of digital marketing evolved in the insurance industry in the last 11 years?
So I would say it's evolved quite a lot. When I first joined Zurich, we were mainly doing press ads if we wanted to promote something in sort of trade press that brokers and advisors would read, physical paper ads, print ads. And as our internal systems have evolved, so our e-trading systems for brokers on the GI, on the general insurance side, and for advisors when they're trying to quote for a life policy or critical illness or income protection, those two platforms, as those have evolved, we've also evolved our marketing with it. So we can track from any digital activity whatsoever, whether it's a social post, paid campaign, display campaign, whatever it might be, we can track right down the funnel if somebody started a quote, bound the quote, and actually purchased with us. So it's incredibly different to how it was. And the tracking from our perspective means we can track every bit of spend, see what channels perform well for us, what didn't perform well, and then sort of revise our activity based on that.
That's incredibly impressive. I mean, that's in an FMCG model, it's absolutely imperative, otherwise you're not going to survive. Yeah. But to know that's actually in that B2B model, especially in the insurance industry, that's really quite advanced to have that holistic view over every campaign, and does it actually return, does it have an ROI against it?
Yeah, It's really good. And we only just started tracking it this way for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And when you go through the campaign results at the end and you're like, oh my God, there's so many quotes that have been started from this piece of activity or from this video or this advert, you're like, this is incredible. So it gives the team like an immense sense of motivation and excitement and pride as well.
So you're saying that potentially the Gen Z or the younger audience aren't aware, or it seems a scary prospect of insurance. That seems a barrier in itself of going, well, it looks complicated.
Yeah, so the trends in with Gen Z and millennial are they're frightened about financial products, and that's almost a barrier to them purchasing them because they don't want to make the wrong decision. Mm-hmm. They really trust their friends and family. Incredibly so, and they're not really sure what an advisor could do for them, a financial advisor. And
has that changed how you marketed to them? Are you looking at it through a different lens, going, actually, how do we reach this audience and explain it's not as scary? There is a whole industry built around this, and we can support you through it. Yeah,
there's great opportunity, certainly on TikTok, to be explaining these products in a really simple way. Mm-hmm. So we've done things like A to Z of insurance terms, things like that. Yeah. But I do think there's an even greater opportunity for us as an insurer to be explaining them and breaking them down.
So your sort of approach is, first of all, to help take the fear away and break down the industry and go, that this is, let's explain what the terms are, because you have your insurance industry is phenomenal range of terminology that doesn't make sense to most people.
No, I know.
So just taking it down a level and going, look, it's a lot of language, but actually it's quite simple, and this is how it works and this is what it does. Because even the broker model is a confusing model if you've never heard of it before.
Yeah, most people don't know why they needed a financial advisor at all. But when we market to financial advisors, we will give them different scenarios to be talking to different age demographics as well. Mm-hmm. So say we're launching a new critical illness product, we will give them, this person is married, just about to have a baby, these are the products that would be potentially this would be a good conversation for you to have with that sort of demographic. Yeah. So as well, that's how we assist sort of advisors that's how we assist different advisors to selling those different products to different target markets.
Amazing. So you've actually got a playbook almost and then the playbook for a Gen Z, which has a side hustle, which is making the money, but they might need to be they might need to have insurance or protection in that space.
Yes.
There's something for them to frame the conversation and make it contextual to that audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you balance traditional marketing with more innovative approaches in campaigns?
We run the long and the short of it activity in terms of our brand building and also our sales activation. The long activity is TV and radio, and they're pure brand activations. So, for example, we've got TV adverts placed during the Euros at the moment to target a commercial audience, because the commercial customer are large businesses, and that's proved really successful for us. So for product activations, we'll have several product pushes throughout the year. If there's a new product launch or a product has been tweaked slightly, we want to promote it and raise awareness. And with that, we'll do lead generation campaigns, but also we will do paid social media activation. We'll also do activation on our own channels as well, so across LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. And then we'll also do email marketing as well. So we'll run a lot of email marketing campaigns throughout launching the product, and then education phase, and then really targeting what the proof points are of the products through email. That works really nicely for us.
So you've gone, that's a fully integrated campaign approach. So your brand, you're still using mass adoption or mass awareness channels to broadcast, Zurich, and for people to feel familiar and comfortable with the brand.
Yes.
And then you're targeting more niche audiences through the other channels.
Yeah, we are.
That integrated approach, is that managed within your team entirely?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of disciplines to understand and cover.
That's true. But we obviously use agencies like yourselves to really help us with that. The team, and we've spoken about this before, but the team can design everything. They are in-house designers, but the creative idea, so they can execute the creative idea, but coming up with the creative creative idea is really where we really need an agency and the expertise of an agency to help us. Similarly, when we're planning a social media activation, paid media, the team can't be experts in everything.
Yeah.
So that's where we really rely on agencies to help us with that activation.
Could you discuss a recent marketing campaign that was successful, and what do you think the key factors of the success?
We launched 3 new critical illness products last year. There's sort of 3 factors, I would say, that made it successful. The first was we had a teaser element to the campaign. So we ran a teaser 2 weeks before, encouraging people to sign up to our webinar. The first email that we sent out, within 10 minutes, we had 150 people sign up to our webinar that was coming in 2 weeks. So for us, building that excitement during the teaser phase that we only did on social was really an important component to the success of the campaign. The second element is we played with our brand slightly. So being a heritage brand, we've been around for 150 years, we probably can do that. So we changed our brand to a teal colour, and everything was in the teal colour, from the presentations that the sales guys did, the emails, all the ads, everything you saw from us was in teal. So again, playing with our brand colours gave us some differentiation and standout in the market. And then the third thing was we did paid for social on LinkedIn, which we'd never done before. We did it with you guys, and the targeting for advisors was absolutely unbelievable. Throughout the whole campaign, along with the LinkedIn and the teasers and that differentiation, our target was to generate 2,000 leads to our webinar, 2,000 people signing up to the webinar, and at the end of the campaign we had 6,000 advisors sign up to the webinar. So it was unbelievable, really, really successful, but it was down to those factors.
How do you measure the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns, and what are the most important KPIs for you?
There's 2 really that are most fundamentally important for us. We measure brand consideration on a monthly basis, and are tracking against all of our competitors to see where we're moving during month on month, and that is a direct result of any brand activity that we have done in the market. So currently we've got a TV and radio advert live, along with all of our product campaigns as well, and brand consideration and tracking that really helps us determine how likely people are then to purchase our products as a result of seeing our ads. So that's really important, and how we track brand consideration. And then on the other side, when we do our product campaigns, we track how many people have done a quote on the platform as a direct result of seeing our LinkedIn ad. How many people have started a quote, but also how many people have purchased as a result of starting that quote as well. Those 2 together, hand in hand, show us where we are in the market in terms of brand consideration, but also how effective our marketing spend is at targeting the right people and encouraging them to do a quote on one of our platforms.
What roles do agencies play in helping you shape and deliver campaigns and strategies?
Our marketing team is set up to be completely self-sufficient. So everyone has InDesign. So they're designing everything in terms of the production of things. But where our agencies really help us and really support us is coming up with the creative, the concept itself and the creative messaging, but also that expertise when we are trying to target, or we have a specific problem and we don't really know how to target them through media. That's where we really, really rely on the expertise of your agency, certainly, to help us work through all of that and be the experts for us, because we can't be everything to everyone, and that's really where we would use you, or where we would use you to really help us work through that, how we target that particular customer and what are the most successful channels we can use to do that. We don't have that expertise in-house, and we shouldn't be all things to all people as a marketing team. We can't be, but that's where we really rely on agencies such as yourselves to help us.
In your opinion, what would be the biggest change in insurance marketing in the next 5 years?
So we're currently using AI at the moment to rewrite a lot of our policy documentation. We own about 9,000 documents, which is like your policy document that you would get if you bought a home or motor product. We are currently in the process of transforming the way we sound and introducing a new tone of voice. So our AI tool is helping us rewrite all of those documents. Amazing. So it's incredible for speed and for accuracy, but the person still needs to be checking it to make sure it's relevant. In the future, I think AI will transform the way we speak to our customers. So when you're thinking about AI and the hyper-personalization that it's going to bring, you can target somebody by their job, their sector, their interests. And when you create content that aligns with those interests, from a brand experience, it's going to be truly phenomenal.
What advice would you give other marketing professionals looking to succeed in the insurance sector?
I would say know your product inside out, whatever insurance product that might be. Really get underneath what the covers actually mean to a customer and why they would want to buy it. What's the emotional need for that product? And that will help you market that in the future. Secondly, I would say remain relevant. Follow all the influencers that inspire you on LinkedIn. Follow your competitors, but also keep a tight hold on what's going on social media and some of the trends on there, because that will help you execute interesting topics with your teams in future and help you introduce new things. If you're in meetings, have something to say. I sit in a lot of meetings where not many people say very much, so definitely have something to say because it will make you stand out in the crowd. And the final thing, I would say keep your skills up to date. So go to a marketing meetup, do an online course if you want to do something like create your own video or video editing, do a YouTube course, or certainly for me being now slightly older, I'm currently doing the mini MBA with Mark Ritson. Incredible for sort of validating and bringing together the strategy and the objectives and the strategic thinking at this point in my career. Gives me the confidence to then go on, you know. So it's those things that I would recommend.